Hi, I'm Ross Bezold.
And I'm Faith Thomas, and we're here to talk to you guys a little bit about excavation safety. We're going to talk to you about why excavation safety is important, some steps you can take to stay safe, and what can happen when you don't follow the rules. So what is an excavation? OSHA defines an excavation as any man-made cut, cavity, trench, or depression in the earth's surface formed by earth removal. Most construction projects start with an excavation. So why are they dangerous? Excavations are dangerous because they are at risk for cave-ins and collapses, and they also have a secondary risk of hazardous air quality. So OSHA regulates that employers must protect their workers from cave-ins by supporting the sides of the excavation, sloping, shoring, or benching the sides, or placing a shield between the sides of the excavation and the workers. So this is an example of sloping. And here you can see an example of shoring. And finally, this is what benching looks like. So, question, how do you determine which type of side to use? The answer would be use the soil type. So now that we know to use the soil type, you can use soil type A or B for the benching technique, type A, B, or C for shoring, and A, B, or C can be used with sloping, but the slope is different for each soil type.
Okay, so another way to protect your workers is by using trench boxes. Trench boxes are used to shield workers while they are performing their task in the trench. They are commonly made of steel or aluminum and are widely used throughout the construction industry. Trench boxes slow down production, but they almost eliminate the danger of cave-ins if used properly. OSHA also regulates exit points, so the rule is that if the trench is 4 feet or deeper, that there must be an exit point within 25 feet of any worker in the trench at all times. So basically there's a few variations of exit points. The main ones are the use of ladders, or you can dig in steps and ramps. Okay, and then now there's the 2-foot rule. So the 2-foot rule is that material and equipment must stay at least 2 feet back. This is from the edge of the excavation, just to make sure that there's not an extraordinary amount of pressure on the side of the excavation to keep from caving in.
So how much does a cubic yard of soil actually weigh? The answer is 2,000 pounds. So we just established that a cubic yard of soil weighs about 2,000 pounds, which is as much as a small car. So obviously, if you are in a trench and it collapses in on you, that's a lot of weight to be on you, and that is why people can suffocate so quickly. So every year, about 25 workers die in an excavation accident. So now we're going to watch a quick video. In the first part, you can see how a cave-in can happen when no safety measures are taken. And then in the second part, we're going to see how certain safety measures can change the outcome of the same situation.
5 workers were putting a sewer pipe into the bottom of a trench with a ladder nearby to enter the trench. There was nothing in place to protect the workers inside the trench if the walls collapsed. While the workers were inside the trench, one side began to collapse. 2 workers were able to climb out using the ladder, but the other 3 workers were buried in the soil and unfortunately suffocated to death from the weight of the soil. Let's see how a trench box could have saved the workers that we saw at the beginning of the video. For our example, we'll assume that the workers are in a trench with type C soil and no sloping, but working inside a trench box. This time, as the workers lay the sewer pipe into the bottom of the trench, they are protected from any possible cave-ins. This example shows the importance of employers following OSHA's excavation standards to ensure that workers are provided with a safe workplace. These types of construction deaths are preventable. The trench cave-in prevention measures shown here save workers' lives. Use these protections on the job. It could be the difference between life and death.
As you can see from the video, that things can go very wrong very quickly, so it's important to be prepared and be safe. A secondary danger of excavations is hazardous atmospheres. Toxic gases can be released from the ground during the excavation process. In trenches, the gases can become trapped or oxygen levels can become depleted. One way to prevent this is to perform atmospheric testing. Then, if you realize that the air quality is deemed unsafe, you need to have proper respiratory equipment.
Okay, so a lot of you have been near the new noise site. So this question kind of pertains to that. What type of excavation site is being used on the new site? If you answered shoring, that would be correct. All right, so just kind of to recap, the first main point we wanted to go over is that excavations are areas where soil has been removed. And then number 2 would be dangers of this are cave-ins and poor air quality. And then 3 protections include adjusting the sides, trench boxes, exit points, the 2-foot rule, and air quality testing / respiratory protection. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our safety video on excavations. We hope you learned a few things and you can someday put to use what you've learned and keep your workers safe. Okay, so finally, here are our references.